Well, hello, my friends. It's awesome to have you with us today. And Today we're going to be going over how to leverage a counter for your live streams or your events. And as always, my name is Carlos Vargas, and we have already several comments on the stream about some of the things that we're using on this one, and we're going to be sharing with you where you can get cool music for your streams and then assets for your counters. So let me start why. So one of the interesting things is that on a live stream, people will get the notification, but not all of them will get it at the same time. So when you want to have your production or your stream, or if you're doing a Zoom session that you're sending the signal over there, and you want to add a little bit of a jazz, there's several things, and today I'm focusing on the Mac. It's not that I don't have no love for the PCs. I love my PCs. But today I'm going to be talking about Ecamm. And I'm going to be bringing you behind the scenes so you can see everything. And we're going to go step by step on how to create a counter for your Ecamm. And anything that you do on Ecamm, you can send it anywhere else. It could be like you saw it here on at the beginning of the event. You can send it to a Zoom session, or you can send it somewhere else that it receive like an NDI session. So if you're doing a production on a larger scale. So one of the first things that let me enable here is so you can see the back end of my production. So right now you are seeing my screen just as I see it. So you're seeing me there. You're seeing all the little comments that are already coming in. You're seeing some assets that I'm going to be using. And if you're not familiar with Ecamm, Ecamm have the concept of scenes. Normally all the broadcasting software have the concept of scenes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand new scene so you can actually see everything. So when I move my mouse, you see my mouse in here, this plus sign that I have on the scene sections, I'm going to create a new scene. I'm going to call it counter. And I'm going to move it down here so I know which one is the one that I'm working on. And the first thing that you can do is that you can add information to your scene. And your information, when you open Ecamm, it has this little icon, if you don't see it, that have a T and a little square like an image. And that will open your overlays. So that will allow you that you can actually create text or counters. And you see that on the bottom, there's this little 3 column 21. What that means is that I can add a counter automatically. And all that I need to tell is how long do I need that counter. So let's say that you're at the beginning of your event and you want to wait 10 minutes. Well, you can create a scene for the beginning. Or if you have a scene for, let's say, a break that's going to be 15 minutes. Well, you can change it here and you can put 15 and you can say add. And when you add it, that counter will start. And what you can do is that you can start working on it to see the size. So at the beginning, you're going to put a small size. But let's say that you want to make it bigger. All that you have to do, you click the little pencil and you can change in here the size of the font. You can change the different fonts that are built in. You can change the color. You see right there, now I put it a little bit bigger. Well, I don't want it, I want it still bigger. So I'm gonna go back. And if you have any questions as we're doing this, you can drop me a comment through all the platforms and it will appear here. So let's say that I want this one in here. When I'm moving it, if you look, there's a little line when you get into the middle, so your counter will be center or your text will be center. That line will appear when you are center on the screen. So I'm gonna hit pause so I can then build it. If I want to add any additional words like I had, I had that the live stream will start on. All that I have to do then is I go back to the overlay and I click the plus sign on the new text overlay. And now in here, I can then type the show will start in, okay? And now that's gonna come up, but that's a little bit too big. Again, no worry. All that I had to do, I just edit the size and I change it. Save. Now I have a little bit better. Okay? So that's how you add a normal overlay, and I have it in front of me for a specific reason. So you can be on the shot or you can have an image. What I'm gonna do is that I wanna add a little bit of a jazz. So I created some assets that will be available if you would like to get something like that for your stream at our Gumroad store. And the first thing that I created was an overlay that will spin. So I just drop it. As you saw, I took it from here and I dropped it on the setting. And it's converting it as we're doing it. So we're doing this live. And what it's doing is that I created an MOV file that is specifically set up for Ecamm so you can get all the overlays and everything working. And everything works here on a layer setting. It works that the last thing is on top. So as you can see, still converting. But I can move the countdown up and they will be then, now this overlay is a movie file. So it will start spinning, and again, it's just giving a little bit of an option. And one of the things that Ecamm allow you to do is that you can loop the file. So I can click in here and I can decide to loop it. Now I can play it and that will loop automatically. So let me show you. This will be just me, no counter. This will be me with a counter. And now I can move and adjust how I want my counter to look while I'm doing my presentation or when I'm putting something that I have to do. Then the next cool thing that you can do is that let me go back here so you can see my face. So in here, let's see, not here. So in here, you're gonna see that are the volume controls. On your scene, you have the control for if you want your microphone on or off. And why this is important. The idea of a counter, if it's for an event or if it's at the beginning of your session, is that you're not gonna be speaking and you wanna get ready as your audience is coming in. So one of the things that you can do is that you can mute your mic. So if you look, I'm gonna move my mouse and here depending on the mic that you're using, you can select to mute it. And when you mute it, then no audio is coming from your microphone. That's fine, because on the counter, what I wanna do is that I wanna put some music. And one of the sites that I use, so let me bring it up here. One of the sites that I love to use is called Epidemic Sound. And Epidemic Sound allow you to have royalty-free music from authors that sounds good and that you can use for streaming. And it costs $15 a month to be able to stream music. And the cool thing is that they take care of all the challenges. Let me resize it here a little bit because of all the windows. Oh, there you go. So an Epidemic sound allow you to then bring all that music to your production. You can leverage it without any problem, and they will clear any copyright issues across YouTube or Facebook because you attach your account. And the cool thing is that you can just look, let's say, on a genre. And if you like, I was looking for, I think that I was doing exercise or sports. Uh, and I found that one that I was playing. Uh, and you can download it to your computer. You can create playlists for yourself, and it allows you to do it automatically. So I downloaded a couple of them. So let me bring them back here. No, give me a sec. I want to bring my scenes up. Scene window. Okay. So now I added first the counter. And what I want to do is I want to add music for that counter. So what I have to do is that on the sound effects, I can add one song or I can create a playlist. And here's the key. If you create a playlist, you can have multiple songs, and a playlist in Ecamm is a folder. So I'm gonna go in here on the sound effects. On the bottom, there's a plus sign and a folder. I'm gonna click in there. I'm gonna go music for demo. Okay, and then what I can do is that the music that I already downloaded, it's called Adrenaline Junkies. That's the name of that album. All that I have to do is that I just pick the first song and I just drop it into where I want it. And as you see, it's under this folder. And I can come and add another one. Wait, okay. Okay. So there you have that the song is playing. And now that I have my songs ready to go, I can control how loud the song plays while I'm there. And that's on the sound effect. You see right here, I can put it higher or lower. And again, these settings are per scene. So if you want to have a scene that have higher sounds, you can have higher sounds. If you have lower sounds, you can have lower sounds on another one. And then what you can do is that because I created this whole folder that was going to be for the counter, I can go here into the cog and set add to a scene. And now that music will play automatically when I am in this scene. You see, if I switch out, now I have, let me switch to counter. So now on the counter, I don't have the music. Why? Because I added to the wrong place, purposely so you can see. So how do I fix it? I can go to the previous scene. I just click here. You see where it says music for demo? I just hit X. And now I go to the correct scene that is on the counter. And I go back to the clock, add to scene. Now I have music on my countdown. And I can put higher. So I can have a higher level of the music while I'm playing. And then when I get out, then the music stops. So even though there's several steps for this, after you create your scene, you can just use it over and over and over. So this is an idea so you can create for your live streams, for your events, for your Zoom meetings, because I'm not going to cover that in here, but you can take Ecamm as your production so you can have higher quality video for your Zoom meetings and send everything that Ecamm sees out. So my friends, let me switch in here so I can see them in the comments. And there were a couple of comments I mentioned about the music, and the idea for all these features is to leverage Ecamm. So now your Mac becomes your production system for anything that you use it, and you can use it for running a full conference. You can use it to run then a Zoom meeting that you're sending your signal. You can use it as your production to send it somewhere else. My friends, I hope that this will be helpful for you. And if you have any questions, um, drop them on the comments so they could appear. So I see several of you connected here. And as always, if you have any questions on the stream, let me know.